You know the teacher dream when you are just so inspired and so ignited and passionate about student learning and your own experience as a mom, as a teacher, and just potentially for many of us thinking about what it would be like to be able to create a school where our own children thrive, where we get to teach the way that we want to teach. And you build this school. You build what has been placed on your heart from God, from your dreams, from your visions for many years. And you see this incredible opportunity for the world, for your own children. And as they grow up, your own kids decide that they are ready for something different and they transition into public school. In today's podcast, I'm going to be sharing with you the real struggle as a mom, as a teacher, in building a micro school with the real intent and desire for your own children. And then they leave. What it's been like for my daughters to leave our micro school, to transition into public school, what that's been like for me, for them, for my husband, for our school. That's what I'm going to be digging in today. This is a very transparent, from the heart of my experience. My hope today is whenever you listen to this podcast, you feel brave enough to make the choices that are best for you, for your kids, for your family, and that you know how to cope with the stress and the struggle of new transitions and what to do when you feel like it's just not working. Let's dig in. Hey friends, I want to take a quick moment to tell you about something that has been an absolute game changer for hundreds of micro school and homeschool hybrid founders. Our Teacher Let Your Light Shine online store, a place for founders' favorites. Inside you'll find our beloved bestsellers like the Business Bundle, packed with everything you need to launch and run your school, contracts, enrollment forms, parent partnership letters, and marketing materials that save you hours of stress. Teachers and parents just like you are saying these tools gave them clarity, confidence, and a clear path forward when starting their schools. Whether you're brand new or you're ready to grow, our resources are designed to help you skip the overwhelm and focus on what really matters most, like our open house playbook, our financial review preparation sheet, templates for Facebook and email marketing, how to create the perfect planning day guide, finding curriculum clarity workbook, our new course, Microschool Marketing Blueprint, all the information for legal clarity for beginners, and of course, the yearly membership to Microschool Masterminds. Head over to teachersletyourlightshine.com/shop. Again, teachersletyourlightshine.com/shop. Skip the overwhelm and focus on what matters most: your students, your mission, and your vision. teachersletyourlightshine.com/shop. Go there today and grab tools that will help you shine. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Teacher Let Your Light Shine podcast. I'm the host of the Teacher Let Your Light Shine podcast. My name is Mackenzie Oliver, and I have been so blessed to have a micro school, and we are going into our 6th year. We started in our living room with our own daughters, some kids from the neighborhood, and a few others that trickled in. And over the course of time, we had 6 children, plus my 2 in the living room, and through the park and in our backyard and on the back porch. We grew to 12 students at our house, to eventually 18 students at our house Monday through Friday. And then after year 3, year 4, 5, and now 6, we have scaled our micro school to 100 students. Today, I'm going to share with you my journey as a mom who so longed to build a school where I could be with my children and be able to teach them, work from home. That was the greatest desire that I had even 17 years ago. Now, as we are entering into our 6th year, both of my daughters are in public school. And I want to share with you the hardship that we have gone through, the brave decisions that we've had to make, the surrendering of the dreams and the visions, and honestly, the pressures of me as a founder and having my kids go to a different school, the pressures of my children in school, the pressures that they felt probably while they were at my school or our school. I don't really like to call it my school because it's way beyond me. I just want to share my heart with you today because I know in our group of thousands of teachers and parents who are part of the Teacher Let Your Light Shine micro school community on Facebook, if you're not there, that's definitely the first place you want to go after listening to this podcast, is our free Facebook group where We started with maybe 20 to 30 teachers. It's over thousands now, and we're so grateful to build this community of people who are looking for something different in their teaching career, looking for something different as a parent, learning and growing together and building new alternative education models for our own families and for many others in our community. I'm recording this episode on a Thursday morning. I am not at our microschool until later on today. This is the day that I typically work from home. And now that we have a microschool up and running and we have built systems and hired a dream team, I'm actually able to work more from home and to be at home more, which I'm so grateful for because I do not think we would be able to navigate the stormy seas of life right now with the demands that our current family is going through with our schedules, and not just my schedule as a microschool owner, but my husband's schedule, who also owns the microschool and runs it on a daily basis, but our daughter, who is a senior now, all of her demands and schedules and preparation for what her life journey is going to look like after high school, but also for our daughter in middle school, who is transitioning into public school for the first time after 5 years. There is quite a bit of putting the pieces of the puzzle together. We are not put the whole puzzle together. So I'm sharing with you as we are going through the real stretches and pains of this season. And I also want to mention that this podcast is not about just the hardship and the messiness of it all. It's also about sharing how we can come together as a community to support each other, to not judge one another, to not put blame or to cast fear. This is a real life conversation with you that I hope that you take heed and you feel inspired and you feel seen, you feel heard, and you understand that it's going to look different. Every time you make a change, every time you step out in faith, you're going to be met with several amazing opportunities, and you're going to be dealt with a lot of moments of decision fatigue and probably dysregulation, which is exactly how our morning started today. So I'll take you back with a little brief history. Coming from public school, I wanted to be a teacher so badly my entire life. If you have had the opportunity this past summer to go to the Vela conference, I was so blessed to be a part of the keynote speaking panel, and I shared my journey of how school started for me and this journey of becoming a teacher entrepreneur. It all started with a box, and the world gave you this big, beautiful box of opportunities. For me, my mom always gifted me with big boxes of school supplies and ways that I could pretend being a teacher. And then as we stepped out into the world and we got, as I mentioned, the college degrees and the classroom keys, the world handed us a new box, and it was a much smaller box, and it's called the red tape box. And I shared at the Vela conference the struggles as a microschool founder to find a location, to celebrate all the goodness and the treasures that we have getting to be an owner and how exciting it is and empowering. But also there are real messy moments. And in the end, it all ends up working out. Let's just get to the very end of the story. It all ends up working out. It is a fairy tale, but there's a lot of push and pull throughout. Now, 17 years ago, after I had my daughter and I was really in the prime of teaching, I decided that I wanted to be at home with her. I wanted to keep my gift of teaching, but I wanted to be with my daughter. My husband said no. We've talked about this on the podcast before. My husband has actually done an interview about this. As time went on, even though my husband was homeschooled for a little bit, his mom ran a child care center in their home. As time went on, his heart opened up to it. I have journals upon journals and pictures and so many dreams and aspirations of starting a school in our backyard. But as our daughters grew up, I felt like that dream was gone because I always envisioned that it would be a preschool where I could just walk out barefoot, have the kids build a garden, run and play and sing songs in the backyard, come in, do the learning, get them prepared for elementary school, and here comes more students. But that is not how God really intended it to be. Or maybe he did, but life threw us a different situation. But God always gets the glory. He always comes through, and his will always be done. So after about 12 years, finally during the pandemic, we got the opportunity. We got the schools shutting down. I didn't want to get back into the public school system because I already knew how hard it was for all of my teacher friends. I was an instructional coach, and I felt like this was the prime time where I could finally work from home. I had done a huge Bible study and big personal growth journey a couple years before using a book called The Proverbs 31 Woman. And I so desperately wanted to work from home because there's so much about our life as mothers that need us to be able to manage our homes. So I felt as if just working from home would be a great place for me to begin. Then I could have my daughters with me. The school was already shut down. We were having fun learning during that time. And I asked my girls, do you really want to go back to school? And both of them said no. We were sewing. We were taking field trips. We were really trying to make the most of a bad situation and turn it in for good. But I knew that I also needed to work. And that's how Lighthouse Learning started in our living room the summer of 2020. My oldest daughter was in 7th grade. She had grown up in elementary school, had a great, fabulous, amazing elementary school experience. We were together. When she started middle school, she definitely hit some bumps in the road. She went to a large middle school and she didn't have a lot of friends because of the neighborhood that we had lived in. We had always traveled to my elementary school. So she went through a time of change and, of course, bless her heart, some hardship, some insecurities. So when the pandemic came, she was like, great, sounds good to me. She's also very bright, very gifted, very smart, very creative. And I saw her first year in middle school that was squashed, totally squashed. And I do not want to put blame on the public school. It could have been a myriad of situations that could have played a part in this. But I had been praying for quite some time. I knew something was in the spirit world was not setting well with my soul. And God was using that moment for preparation. So my youngest daughter, she has always been a little spitfire. I mentioned in the Vela keynote panel that she was one who always preferred barefoot outside. I want to rollerblade. I don't want to read. I want to soak up all of the fun that learning can have, but I do not want it to be anything near traditional school. So she had actually been begging me to homeschool her. Now, for the first year, we made it. Now, my oldest daughter, she was very self-sufficient, but she also wanted a lot of stability. She wanted me to set a timer for every hour as if she was switching classes. Our house had also turned into a very loud, fun-filled home, and she didn't have friends. Unfortunately, we started with younger students for her, and so she was craving middle school connection. So after that first year, because we had majority of our students being elementary, kindergarten, and 3rd grade, she said, I don't want to leave, Mom. I really want to do this, but I want my friends. And because I was not able to be the traditional take her around, take her to all these different programs, because I was running the microschool out of our house, I did not have the time freedom to do that. So the way that we set up our microschool was Monday through Friday. That's what the world needed from us during that time. If, now hindsight 2020, if I had maybe had a flexible program where we did school for 3 days a week, then those other 2 days I could have been taking my daughters to pursue horseback riding lessons, art museums, art classes, music classes. But that's not the way that it was designed. And honestly, the way that our school was designed came out of bare necessity for the traumatic experience that everyone was going through during the pandemic. I was so grateful that she was honest with me. She went back the next year into public school, and it was her 8th grade year. She was taking some pretty hard classes, and she was feeling the strain of wearing masks to school, feeling the strain of navigating the middle school friendships, and she did very well. Unfortunately, however, what would you call well, actually? She's quiet, she's introverted, she's a super deep thinker, she's firstborn, she's a perfectionist, and I believe that she kept everything inside rather than being expressive. So as you know, that comes with its own challenges and roadblocks and needing interventions. And as a parent, I'm so focused on running the micro school. How do I help her? I've never raised a middle schooler before. I've never ran a micro school before. I don't know how to handle all of this. We did the best that we could, but looking back, it was not the best. I did not have the tools or the resources to really help her the way that she needed to be helped. And I'm learning. I'm learning now that my youngest one is in middle school. I'm learning what to say, what not to say, what to do, the support that we need, the community that we need that we did not have when my daughter transitioned back into public school after her first year. I will say, moving on, my oldest daughter, she has continued the track in public school. Year after year, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, she has went less and less and less to school. Again, very bright, very, very bright. Unfortunately, so discouraged by school. She has mentioned several times that teachers do not care. No one sees them. As a matter of fact, I just learned yesterday when I'm taking her to a tutor that the teacher records herself doing the lessons. The kids come into class, they open up their iPhones, the teacher's at her seat, grading papers, working on the computer. The kids watch the video of the teacher teaching on their cell phone. They do the work. They're afraid to ask her questions. She rolls her eyes at them. She looks at them weirdly. She's not kind. Wow. Talk about being uninspired. Thankfully, she does have some classes at school, peer counseling that she really enjoys. And overall, honestly, we live in a larger city. She has over 1,000 kids in her graduating class, and it's a lot. It's a lot for her to manage. She probably feels very lost in the sauce, and we think that education is free, but it's not free. The amount of money, the amount of time to give interventions and to support emotionally, physically, spiritually, academically, with tutors and with coaches and with life coaches. We've tried to do the best that we can to help her to navigate this world. And it's not the public school system's fault. I could have put her into a private school. With that comes a cost financially. It comes a cost with different rules and regulations. But this is the route that she chose. And this is school choice. And having done it over again, I wish I would have been more educated and more diverse and more aware. I wish I would have done my research. To all my teacher friends, parents, and visionary leaders, if you are listening to this, I know you are passionate about creating a microschool or a program, a homeschool hybrid that truly shines. But let's be totally honest. Building and growing a microschool or your own program or homeschool hybrid, it isn't easy. It's not for the faint of heart. Whether you're just getting started or looking to scale, there's so much to navigate. Legalities, marketing, finances, student enrollment, location, curriculum planning. That's exactly why I created Microschool Masterminds, a community where you don't have to figure it out all alone. Inside, you'll get step-by-step guidance to launch, grow, and sustain your microschool or homeschool hybrid, access to our exclusive training modules, resources, and live coaching, and a supportive network of educators who get it, because they're building their own dream schools as well. You have this dream of creating an incredible opportunity for students, for teachers, and yourself. Maybe you're in the early stages, wondering, where do I even start? Or maybe you've already taken the leap, but now you're feeling overwhelmed with marketing, enrollment, all of the planning or the finances. You're not alone, and you don't have to figure it out all by yourself. That's why Microschool Masterminds is here to help you on a month-by-month basis. That's right, it's a month-by-month membership designed to give you the support, structure, and strategy you need to actually make progress. Each month, you'll get live group coaching calls so you can ask questions, get feedback, and gain clarity on your next steps. Step-by-step training modules on legal setup, marketing, enrollment, financial planning, school operations, a private community of passionate educators who get what you're building and are right there with you, a roadmap to keep you moving forward whether you're launching or growing your school, and new resources delivered to your teacher mailbox inside our Microschool Masterminds community that are brand new every single month. And again, the best part is it's a month-to-month membership, so you can join when you're ready and stay as long as you need. Or if you're all in, grab the yearly membership and get 2 months free. This is your time. Your vision deserves a real plan, and I want to help you every step of the way. Go to teachersletyourlightshine.com/masterminds to join us today. That's teachersletyourlightshine.com/masterminds. We can't wait to see you. Of the different options that were out there for my incredibly gifted, loving, sensitive daughter. I've learned that we are their biggest advocates, and we cannot send them to school and expect that they are getting everything that they need. So right now I'm focusing on my oldest daughter, building her a launch binder, helping her to get organized with choosing colleges, career paths, showing her what it looks like to have a big project like this, how to make the invisible visible, how to get organized, how to be self-sufficient, how to do her research. And I wish I had more time with her. I wish I would have started this years ago, but I'm learning now, and I'm not going to berate myself. not going to be hard on myself. I'm just so grateful to God that our micro school is running very well without me being in there so that I can, one, make up for lost time, two, go back through and refresh her, refresh myself, and help to prepare her. There's no way I could be running this micro school at 40 hours a week or more and feel as if I am able to give my daughters the help that they need right now in this season of life. Years before, I could do it. This year, no. And I knew going into this through prayer and petition, God, please free up my time so that I can be here for my family. And thankfully, being a micro school owner, I have the flexibility to do that. So typically right now, as the start of the school year, I'm working 3 days a week at the school, maybe 2.5. I've really delegated a lot and have been setting up a ton of systems and people and organizational means to be able to do this. Again, my daughters, I'm trying to make up for time that we didn't have insurance and taking them to get eye exams and physical exams. And my oldest daughter, she actually had 3 concussions in 3 years. One was through volleyball, another one was through a very tragic car accident, and the last one was with lacrosse. So we've been navigating just neurological things with her as well that I am really passionate about helping her, just developing her as a whole child. And thankfully, Lighthouse Learning has been able to give my family the time and the space to be able to do this. And I'm so grateful for the families who have entrusted us to take care of their children and the team of beautiful people that are knowledgeable and committed to helping the children at Lighthouse Learning. Now, for my youngest daughter, she's been with us for 5 years at our school. And over the past couple of years, when she entered middle school and watching her older sister go to high school, she has been really interested in going to a public school, seeing what it's like, and that we would give her every year the opportunity, and then she would say, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to do it. I want to stay here. And she was the girl whose laughter could fill the whole school. I would be working in my office and I could hear her laughing, and it brought so much joy. And I would be like, as hard as it is to have your children come with you every day to work, and to navigate that whole situation of you running the school and you're the quote unquote principal or the leader and your daughter's a part of the school, she's going to make mistakes. People are going to think that she needs to be perfect. People are going to be looking at her as a reflection of me, all of that pressure that we put on ourselves. After a couple years, I was like, that's gone. That is not real. And if I'm trying to uphold this certain way and putting any type of pressure on my daughter to conform to be like the preacher's daughter, I can't do it. I'm not going to be a statistic in that arena. I want her to feel as if she can be herself. But that came with time, guys. That definitely came with time and with shedding and with dying to myself and dying to pride and dying to looking perfect. No, we're so imperfect. And most importantly, I want you as a microschool owner or founder, as a parent, to know that yes, you're going to be up on the stage. You're going to be in the spotlight. And it is very important that you are transparent with yourself and with your family, that you're going to make mistakes, that your children do not have to be perfect, because you're going to do more harm than you are good trying to look a certain way. So as time has gone on, our daughter Jolie, I will say there were many blessings of her being with us, but there were also hard times. She is not your traditional learner. She needs more breaks. She needs more freedom. She needs more creativity. She needs to talk. She's very expressive. You cannot hold her up. You cannot hold her down. You cannot box her in. And I knew in her time in kindergarten and first and second grade in public school, if she's anything the way she was during those times, we are in for a treat. And so are the teachers. She's not a bad kid. She's just different in a really cool way. She loves to be playful and she wants to have fun. She's smart. She's quirky. She has her own giftings about her, but she is not your traditional learner. I see children just like my Jalen, who's quiet, deep thinker, perfectionist, introverted. I see kids like her at our school who thrive. I see kids like my youngest daughter, Jolie, who are vibrant and outgoing and passionate and expressive. And she comes with her highs and she comes with her lows. And it works for children like her at our micro school. But why didn't it work necessarily for my kids? And did it work or did it not work? And I would say it worked. It works, meaning that they're going to get a quality of education. They're going to get their needs met. They're going to be seen. They're going to be heard. But the patterns of this world, the conformity, the desire to see what else is out there, that is where my daughters are at. Plus, as they got into middle school, they didn't want to be with their mom anymore and their dad. Even though my oldest daughter did, she was searching for freedom to be herself, to leave her mom and dad and to not have them around her all the time, not to be the first person that the teacher goes to when there's a problem. Think about it. In public school, if a child is having a problem or a struggle, they're having a meltdown, they're crying, they're upset, they're frustrated, they're mad, they're having a friend problem, it's dealt with at school. The parents typically have no idea. But in a micro school setting, when you work there, you know all about it. And I think for my youngest daughter, Jolie, we knew a lot of things that were going on with Jolie. And her teacher last year said, it's really not fair that when she's distracted or being goofy and off task, that I come straight to you to tell you. Because in a normal setting or for any other kid at this school, we don't just go straight to their mom and dad. We deal with it, and typically their parents don't even know, but you know. And I was so grateful for this teacher. She said, I'm no longer going to let you know. And I was like, great. Thank you. She said, I know that you're here and you want her to behave a certain way. And I was like, actually, I want her to be herself. And I want you to know that you're supported and I can help you. And she's not reckless. She's not a bad kid by any means. She's just a little different. And she's kind of run the school a little bit because she's watched her mom run the school. So she knows the ins and outs. She knows things that are happening behind the scenes. So she comes in with a very different mindset and experience than the rest of the kids who come to our school. And so will your child. I think she was tired of riding to school with her mom every day. She wanted to ride the bus. She wanted to be with other kids. She wanted to be away from us and to see us at the end of the day where we haven't seen each other. And was like, hey, how was your day? Hey, what was going on? Instead of us going to work together and leaving together. While that worked in elementary school, not so much for your middle schoolers. So for them, it was mainly the dynamic of our family-run business and them wanting to have their own life. And it's working, but it's definitely not working, okay? There are so many hardships that our family is going through right now. To give you a little bit of an idea, my daughter Jalen, as I mentioned, year after year, she has lessened her time at the physical public school. She goes right now 1 to 2 hours a day, and the rest of it is online. That really works for her central nervous system, for her to just get her work done. And what I notice is that is a flexible option that she is given through the public school system, which I'm grateful for. I look at my daughter, Jolie. She is super passionate about soccer. Anybody who knows Jolie, who's watched her in soccer, they see her future being very driven by opportunities that she will get in soccer. She's had many people speak over her. She will go to the pros. She will be in the World Cup. She will be a college athlete. So for her, she's wanted to go into public high school so that she could continue that route. Although there are other routes she could go with soccer. We also looked into a private soccer school for her. She did not want to go to that. She wanted to feel the public school experience. Call it rebellion, call it freedom. I'm going to tell you, it's not freedom. I pick her up. She is very, very dysregulated. I'm dysregulated picking her up. To be quite honest with you, she's not used to a full day like this. She's not used to the social pressures. Kids are very nice to her. Hallelujah. She was the new girl on campus. Everybody was like, woo-wee, right? New friend, new girl, what's going on? But the pressures of being seen, being heard, the who do I sit by at lunch has resulted into going into the bathroom at lunch. Eating her lunch in the bathroom, trying to figure out, will this girl let me sit by her? Majority of kids are very nice, I do want to say, and she's met amazing pockets of incredible people. Academically, it's out the window. I can't get a hold of teachers. I've emailed several times. She's basically on her own. She's on her own, folks. And ways to support your child, tell me how to do it. I can't find it. I'm learning the 7 different platforms that they use for learning. I'm trying to keep up with the usernames, the passwords, all of the teachers. And I thought it was so interesting. I was listening to a podcast. Think about a child who goes to 7 different classrooms. Think about you as an employee. Think about if you had to report to 7 different jobs in a day, and all 7 different jobs had 7 different bosses with 7 different expectations and 7 different ways of telling you what your job was that day. Overwhelming. And yes, we did it when we were in school. How is it different now? Really different. The teachers are different. The expectations are different. The school system is different. The kids are different. The means of learning are different. The avenues for learning are different. I'm not saying that it's better. I'm saying that it's different, and we are all on a huge learning curve. So for my daughter, Joliana, a lot of it has been us trying to navigate how to get her to school, how to make sure that she has everything that she needs to stay regulated throughout the day. She's doing fine, so to speak, until she gets in the car and is like, I hate school. I don't want to go tomorrow. I can't stand learning there. People are distracting. My teachers aren't helpful. I have no idea how to do this online. So I'm trying to learn how to do it too and to help her. And I think about my daughter, Jalen, when she was going through all of that in middle school, and I didn't know how to help her. And I was doing things in our micro school. And because Jalen is so self-sufficient and quiet, she was managing it all on her own. And she'd be like, I'm good. I don't need help. Well, my youngest daughter is like, I need you to help me. And I'm like, I have no idea how to help. So I'm on this learning curve of how to help her and how to help her central nervous system. She wants to be awake. She literally wants her alarm clock set for 4 a.m. because she said it takes me from 4 to 8:30 in the morning to get myself mentally prepared to go to school. I said, no, Jolie, we'll do this until this is not working. I will give you the opportunity to let you spread your wings and fly, but we're not going to do this all year long. We are going to go back to our roots of what makes you happy and what makes you fulfilled and what makes you successful. We cannot spend the whole year trying to regulate ourselves, all of us. Now, this is new. We're in the 4th, 5th week of school? Is it getting better? I don't know. Because if you would have asked me this morning, I'm standing outside. My husband and I are standing out on the front porch. He's like, I'm about to go nuts. I'm like, keep your calm. It's been a long week. It's been a long day. She's also in a competitive soccer league. I told my husband, I said, listen, it's Jalen's senior year. Jolie's going to a new school. We've got a new school ourselves. She's now starting this huge competitive soccer league, hours every week. Traveling 45 minutes to play soccer, practicing for 2 to 3 hours, 3 days a week, traveling on the weekends. We did that because that's Jolie's heart. That's her passion. But guess what? Now that she started school, guess what she is not interested in anymore? Soccer. I'm too scheduled. I'm too booked. I can't do this. I have so much homework. I have to go to school for 7 hours a day and then I have to go to soccer. Guess what she loves? Soccer. Guess what she hates? School. Guess what she feels like she has to do? School. Guess what she feels like she can just push to the side? Soccer. Warning, when the things that your kids love start to be a pain in their side because they are so overstimulated by the thing that they have to do, warning, trust me, I'm taking notes. I'm studying this because I watched my oldest daughter go through the same thing. She could be preparing for a college scholarship in volleyball right now, but because of the pressures of school and work, and I just sat with her counselors at Coffee with the Counselors a couple of weeks ago, and they said, listen, there is so much pressure on these kids to go to the right school, to move out with their friends, to get the degree, to know what school they're going to go to. And she said, look at me. No one has ever asked me where I got my master's degree from or my undergrad. And it's not me giving my daughter the pressure. I'm like, you want to take a gap year? Let's go for it. You want to travel the world? Let's do it. You want to find a career first? You want to get straight out of school and head into a career or start start a business, I will support you. Your dad and I, we will support you. But it's the friends, it's the social aspect. And so we're all trying to reimagine what this could look like. And I share all of this with you because this is reality. I don't have all of the answers. I am an imperfect mom and an imperfect micro school founder and leader, but I'm trying my best. And I'm loving and I feel blessed that I get to be in this position. Number one, you guys, I am so blessed to be able to give flexible options to children. At our school, the kids can choose either 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. I wish my kids could be able to do that. That would work out so well for my daughter, Jolie. If she could go to school Monday through Wednesday and she had off on Thursday, Friday, she travels for soccer, she goes to Georgia, leaves on Friday, comes back on Monday, has time to reset, does her work. That works for kids. The only flexible option that we do not have at our school that works for my oldest daughter is just going to school for pockets of time throughout the day. We don't do that because we have so many families who travel 45 minutes to an hour. It really wouldn't be worth their time, but it's something to look into. It's definitely something to look into, and we do not have an online component. So that in and of itself is not a part of our model, but I feel confident that giving families the options of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 days to work with their families and their families' needs is really an amazing sweet spot. And I wish I had that for my daughter Jolie now, because the micro school that we have built was really set around kids like her who needed flexible schedules to be able to travel and do things with their families or their sports or their passions or their hobbies. I hope that you're brave enough to give yourself grace, to go against what people expect you to do or to be like. I hope that you have the grace and the self-compassion to look at your family's life, to see if you're running a micro school, do you need to be a part of it 5 days? If you are struggling with areas in your home life or with your kids' schedules. For me, I am so grateful. If I had to work at a school 40 hours a week in public school or anywhere and navigate really being there for my daughter in her senior year and really being there for my youngest daughter transitioning into middle school, I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't. I would choose not to do it, actually. I could do it, but I would choose not to. I'm so grateful to be an owner of a micro school, to have the flexibility of time. Praise God that if I really did want to take a whole week off right now, I could. It would still run without me. If like yesterday, I wanted to take my daughters, one of them needs tutoring. They both needed eye exams. I left at noon. I had a team of people who could take care of the school. I'm not there until around 1:30 today. I'm not there tomorrow. Tomorrow on Fridays are the days that I work for my family. Because why? My husband runs the micro school and we cannot both be running that. We cannot be, first off, it's not necessary. We have enough leaders and enough people to pour into our school. Did it take time to get here? Absolutely. Am I regretful for anything that has happened up until this point? Yes, I am, because I really wish I would have let go to responsibilities at our micro school 2 years ago. I wish I would have built up the team that we have now 2 years ago rather than trying to hold it all myself. I wish I would have released the vision to a community of families like I have now who help run the events and run the fundraising and help with the scholarships and help connect me with the Chamber of Commerce and things in the community. I wish I would have built up a team of families and community. I just spoke about this in our micro school masterminds in July. This is what I would have done years ago. I wish I would have had my husband come be a part of it sooner. I wish I would have built up more leaders. I'm grateful for where we are now, but the one regret that I have is that I held on to too many responsibilities when I could have freed myself up for what I really wanted to do from the very beginning, was to be able to work from home, build the vision of the school, still continue to have this beautiful learning environment for other people, but also be able to tend to my family better. That is something that I've learned and something that I hold so sacred to my heart right now. I want to love on the people who are allowing me to do this, and I want to love on the people that I'm closest to. And I'm so grateful, because if I wouldn't have this school, I would be working 40, 50, 60 hours somewhere without the flexibility of time to where I can really pour into my family during this season. I hope that this has spoke to your heart in some capacity and allow you to know that transparency is where we really find the freedom. And I want to be clear with you, because as Brene Brown says, clear is kind. And through this transition and life change, I'm so grateful for the community that we've built up through our microschool, for the leadership team that we have built up, for the desire to want to be pouring into my family, but also still be able to use my gifts and talents as a teacher and as a visionary leader. I'm grateful that I can do both of them. And I'm grateful that I don't have to pour 100% into one bucket over the other, that God has blessed us with the opportunity to do both of them and to do both of them well. But in order to do both of them well, we need the time. And if this is what you're struggling with, I definitely encourage you to start building up a team. And if you don't know how to do that, join our team, join our free Facebook community, join microschool masterminds where we actually teach you about this, where you have people who have done this. And there's modules that you can go on self-paced. There are group coaching sessions where I share with you where I am now, how I got here, so that you can enjoy the same opportunities. And I'm definitely learning from you as well. So I invite you to be a part of a community and to not do this alone. You can start with us here at Microschool Masterminds. You can head over to teachersletyourlightshine.com/masterminds. I'll be happy to invite you into our community, learn with you, grow with you. And again, listen to the upcoming podcast. We've got amazing series coming up this fall that I know is going to really speak to your heart, let you know that you're not alone, and that together we're really building amazing things, not just for our community, but for our own families and for our own unique teaching talents. Hey friends, I want to take a quick moment to tell you about something that has been an absolute game changer for hundreds of microschool and homeschool hybrid founders. Our Teacher Let Your Light Shine online store, a place for founders' favorites. Inside you'll find our beloved bestsellers like the Business Bundle, packed with everything you need to launch and run your school, contracts, enrollment forms, parent partnership letters, and marketing materials that save you hours of stress. Teachers and parents just like you are saying these tools gave them clarity, confidence, and a clear path forward when starting their schools. Whether you're brand new or you're ready to grow, our resources are designed to help you skip the overwhelm and focus on what really matters most, like our open house playbook, our financial review preparation sheet, templates for Facebook and email marketing, how to create the perfect planning day guide, finding curriculum clarity workbook, our new course, Microschool Marketing Blueprint, all the information for legal clarity for beginners, and, of course, the yearly membership to Microschool Masterminds. Head over to teachersletyourlightshine.com/shop. Again, teachersletyourlightshine.com/shop. Skip the overwhelm and focus on what matters most: your students, your mission, and your vision. teachersletyourlightshine.com/shop. Go there today and grab tools that will help you shine.